show up for this. I appreciate it. I am here to talk about cannabis curriculum. And I know most of us love cannabis for one reason or another. You might like it to use it for medicine or just to relax and enjoy it. But my goal is to have students study all the different aspects of cannabis, write research papers about it, do studies, try to collect as much information about cannabis, and then eventually put it all, hopefully, into one large database or one research place where other people can go and access this research so they can use it for their research and keep adding and adding, and so we'll just keep adding to the knowledge of cannabis and the evils of prohibition, because as we all know, the drug wars are pretty stupid. We're trying to change that, and so I think by educating ourselves and everybody else on this subject, we can hopefully do that. So one of the big things right now is environmental science. A lot of people have classes or majors in environmental sciences. So, and a lot of this people might already know, about hemp. We'll be talking a lot about hemp, but you can make plastic out of hemp. It's an amazing thing. You can make all sorts of fuels out of the seed. You can make diesel out of the seed. You can make ethanol out of the stalk. You use biomass. So you can do all sorts of research in that area. Study, diesel engine was developed for vegetable oil. So we should go back to that and lessen our reliance on fossil fuels and foreign oil. Hemp uses a lot less. Sure.
What's your name? Sorry,
John,
I might have missed it.
John Dvorak.
Cool. And where are you from, John?
I'm from Boston. I live around here. And I've been studying hemp and cannabis informally for over 30 years and studied on a daily basis. So thank you for that. But cannabis, hemp uses a lot fewer pesticides and herbicides than cotton, so it's a lot more environmentally friendly than cotton is. You can study how they used to use hemp-based paints and canvases for a lot of the great masterpieces. Biomats, they're laid out hemp in the fields to prevent erosion. It biodegrades and it's good for the soil. And of course, tree-free paper. You can make 4 times as much paper out of an acre of hemp as you can out of an acre of trees. People don't really believe that. They did a USDA study back in 1919 proving that, but still, you could do another study, similar type of study, just to re-emphasize that fact and to prove how good hemp paper is. Other cool things about hemp phytoremediation. In Europe and Ukraine, they have used hemp to detoxify soils. The heavy metals in the soil are actually drawn up into the seeds, so you can use hemp to clean out toxic waste. It's really good for that. Henry Ford built a car using bioplastics, biodegradable car. They're doing it again. A lot of VW, Mercedes, a lot of car companies are developing car parts, insulation, a lot of the inside car parts are being made out of hemp right now. So we need to do more research into that area and show how good it is for that. Recycling and hemp parade, that's a horse bedding, kitty litter, things like that. It's really good stuff. Sociology, we might have some sociologists here, and we've heard a lot about this today, about what's going to really change the dynamic. We've got a lot of good things going on. Favorable drug czar. We have the North Dakota hemp case. It's coming up. Hopefully the DEA is going to change their tune on that. Raids. Obama stopped the raids on the medical clubs, which is good. We have the UMass medical case that Rick was talking about. We have a lot of good things that are going on, numerous state laws. And one thing that Rick and people have been talking about is the perspective of time. And I just want to make sure everybody realizes this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I've seen a lot of people get real excited about the cause and try to do everything real fast, and then when it doesn't change, instantly, then they get burned out and they drop out of the movement. So just keep that in mind. We've got a lot of work ahead. even if they ended prohibition today, we have to get over all the years and years of brainwashing and misinformation and prejudices against cannabis users, and we have huge potential, which I'll talk about, in the hemp industry and the medical marijuana industry for new products and things like that, so we can make money and make progress at the same time. So keep all these things in mind. If you do a sociology paper, try to find out is there going to be a watershed event, one event where it clicks on everybody's mind in the public and they say, geez, prohibition is stupid. Why are we locking up all these people? My mother-in-law is very conservative. She heard some guy, she went to a lecture about the drug war and he was saying we can legalize all drugs. Now she's talking about it, which is really, it's great. I wish I could get her on the lecture circuit. These people would listen to it, 7-year-old baby, more than me. Economics, if you're an economics major, there's a lot of good aspects of hemp to study, and I want to point this out. This is sort of amazing. Last year in America alone, 200 million acres, corn, soy, wheat, and cotton were grown. 200 million acres. And in Canada, 8,000 acres of hemp. So, this little bar chart, this is hemp. These are all cotton, corn, soy, and wheat. So this shows you hemp can be used for all of these other crops. It shows you how big of the pie hemp could be. It shows you how small it is now. And a lot of people say, one thing we should do is go out and buy hemp products. Support those companies out there that are making hemp products.
This shirt's made of hemp. That's great.
Awesome. We got a lot of good shirts coming out. A lot of times people say it's too expensive. Why should I pay so much for hemp pants or hemp shirts? And the reason is because of the economies of scale. They grow millions of acres of cotton, so the price is going to be a lot cheaper. So you have to support these people, pay that higher price now, for in the future, hopefully we're going to be one of these bigger slices of the pie. And any questions, just pop in. I'm just sort of flying through.
Is it important to make sure to know where the hemp is being grown, like not in somewhere like China or something like that?
Well,
that's where a lot of it comes from.
That's right. They grow most of the hemp in the world right now comes from China. So if you mean like if you have a big political problem with China, then don't buy that Chinese hemp. I guess that's sort of a personal feeling if you feel that way. But right now it's like I want to see hemp, so I do buy Chinese hemp if it's available.
What happens to you if you are found growing hemp?
It's cannabis. It's a federal offense. So it's illegal.
Do you get punished the same way you would if you were growing marijuana? It's the female strain versus the male strain, right?
Well, actually, it's not. It's the THC percentage of THC in the flower. That's the differentiator between hemp and marijuana. So. Woody Harrelson planted a few seeds, maybe 10 or 12 years ago in Kentucky. Went down, big press release, and he got arrested and went to trial, but I think he lost. He didn't go to prison or anything like that, but he didn't win. They said you can't plant hemp seeds, so it's definitely against the law. We have any architecture students or construction people here? Hemp can be used to make all sorts of things. Hemp concrete is one of the great new things that I think it's green. It's going to make a lot of money. It sequesters CO2. One of the largest producers of CO2 right now is concrete. So we can use hemp concrete, which is basically hemp hurd. The hemp herd's in stock with lime and water. It makes a nice, and then you spray it into the walls. Well, this is a hemp wall. These are hemp walls. That's a really good way to stop using the polluting regular concrete. Use hemp shingles, hemp carpet, and particle board, and insulation. So you got everything. You got hemp curtains, hemp sheets, and inside the house, of course, you got the hemp soap, hemp foods, and everything like that. So it's a lot of different aspects. So if you're an architecture student, there are some contests out there for building these greenhouses and things like that. I don't know if anybody's heard of those, but get a team together and build a hemp house. That sounds like fun. The hemp concrete, they say it is mold resistant and rodent resistant. Bugs don't like it, and mice don't like it, so it's really good.
Oh, you got one.
Oh, sorry.
Is it illegal to buy the hemp, I guess, for these products, or you just can't grow it?
You can't grow it in America, you can import it, so everything's imported from China, Canada. Yes, that's stupid. But, you know, that's
So you can buy all the stuff to make these products, you just can't grow it here in the
That's right.
United States.
You can buy it, you can import.
That hemp ice cream.
That is hemp ice cream, hemp cream. You can only get this in Canada right now, but there is a company that's coming out in America with hemp ice cream in April.